Alright everybody, here we are at the boat launch. It's an absolutely fantastic Wednesday afternoon. And we're going to get out on the water. Probably do a little fishing while I'm out there. But I don't really have any specific plans. I'm not even sure where I'm going to go just yet. I just want to get out on the water. We're getting down towards the end of the season. So I don't have too much more time to get out here. Once the leaves are fully changed, I'll be done for the season myself. And I don't know how well it's coming out on camera, but we're starting to get some pretty significant color change. So the clock's ticking. I've got a few weeks and then these leaves are going to be gone, and then it'll be next spring before we're back out here. So give me a couple minutes, let me get out of these weed beds and away from the actual boat launch itself. I'll get my motor down in the water and we'll get on with it and we'll see where we end up. But we should have some pretty scenery and some sightseeing, if not some actual fishing today. So we're still in the cove with the boat launch, so we got to go all the way down there and get out on the main body of water, and from there I think we're actually going to go upstream today. I know of a series of coves. It's a feeder stream that runs in Graves Run, and I haven't been up there in a while. I'm not sure about the fishing, but it should be pretty and we should be able to see some good autumn colors starting already. So we'll go ahead and head up that way and see what's going on. So I'll see you down around the bend. I've actually decided, instead of hitting the cove I was talking about, which is actually over that way, we are going to continue up here. Around this bend. I want to make sure the water's not getting too shallow through here. Should be safe enough to cut through here. Maybe a few weeds in the way, but not that big a deal. And that log is just out there. That's been there for years. So ultimately we're going to make our way across the water around that bend, and we're going to head pretty much as far upstream as I can go today, and we're just going to see what we can see up there and then turn around and make our way back. I don't know how much fishing I'm really going to do. Not too worried about it today. Like I said, it's just such a pretty day out here. I'm just enjoying being out here motoring around. We're well past the trestle bridge and heading upstream now. We're probably about 1.5 miles from the boat launch. So I can see some really pretty colors over there along the shoreline. I don't know if I want to go all the way over there and then back up, because really we need to go around this point and head that way. So I think let's just do that. We'll just head on over there. Alright, I haven't been videoing too much since we've been basically making our way right up the middle of the channel, and I know this GoPro doesn't do well for any kind of distance filming at all. It's great for close-up action shots, and it's good for sort of an overall look around the place, but as far as seeing any detail, we just miss a lot of it. So now that we're getting a little further up here towards the end, it's starting to get a little more interesting, so we're going to go ahead and video a little bit through here. Eventually we're going to be making our way up around this point and along the eastern bank over here, where there's going to be lots of rocks and outcroppings and interesting stuff to look at, and the sun will be shining on all that. But I know for a fact that right through here it is really interesting too. I've been through here once before, and it was just like I remember. There's a rope hanging out of the tree right here, so this is clearly deep water where the kids come and swim and, you know, swing out and jump into the water. And then this is what I remember, this huge rocky structure over here. Not sure where you would park or hike down to get down here. But with the rope and the path and everything there, people obviously come down here on foot. And this is somebody's swimming hole. Need to start paying attention to where I'm going. The water's starting to get more and more debris floating in it. We're getting really close to the top of the reservoir, and where the river flows in, all the sticks and debris that wash down in the rain and the floodwaters we've been having lately just sort of start backing up around this area, because this is where it sort of changes from river to reservoir. It's kind of right on that crossover line. So I've actually hiked along the top of this kind of ridge of rocks. I've never come this far down, but it goes all the way down, and you can see the bridge right there. That's Clipper Mill Road, so we're definitely getting way far up towards the top of the reservoir. Now, I've only once come all the way up to the bridge. It was a couple of months ago, but there was so much debris. I literally was like thumping and bumping through logs and stuff. I had to pull my motor up out of the water and use my paddle to push my way through here. There was so much debris floating in the water. So I went up to the bridge just so that I could say I'd done it. And then I turned around and motored on back and got out of all of the floating debris and everything that was up here. So now it looks like it's a little more open, and we can go up underneath the bridge and keep on heading upstream. And hopefully we'll be able to get far enough up where we'll actually get all the way into the very bottom end of Hemlock Gorge. That's always been something I've wanted to do, is take a boat by water and go from the boat launch in the reservoir and make my way all the way up into Hemlock Gorge. So we'll see how far I can get. I can already start to see the water getting clogged up with debris and junk in front of me, so I guess maybe I might start slowing my motor down here in a moment. Alright, hang on, we'll see what happens, but hopefully here in a few minutes we'll be on the other side of the bridge and motoring on upstream. If not, we'll be turning around and motoring on back downstream. Alright, it's official. We're upstream of the... Okay, I was afraid of that. We're in really shallow water too. We are upstream of the bridge officially now, and we're in water that is deep enough to allow me to continue motoring along for the moment, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm in completely unfamiliar water at this point. I have no idea what we might encounter, so I'm easing off on the motor a little bit. We're going to slow down, and it looks like we're back into slightly deeper water. We should be able to go quite a ways upstream. We shouldn't be anywhere near running out of navigable river yet. In fact, there's a little landing area. If you go over the bridge and you park, there's a trail you can walk in, and right around this bend there's going to be a little spot where the water in front of that's quite deep, and there might even be some people standing there fishing. We're going to go on past that and continue going upstream, and from there you can see Hemlock Gorge. So I don't know if we'll be able to actually get that far or not, but we'll actually be able to see it. So I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited. This is fun. This is the first new thing I've done out on the reservoir in a couple of months. Alright everybody, here we are at the little area I was talking about, the little landing area where people will often come down and fish. And I've had to stop and make an adjustment. I lifted my motor up so it is just barely in the water, so we can run really shallow. There was a small area where I ran with no motor and we just used my paddle here. I don't think I needed to, but I felt better safe than sorry going through there. So now we've got the motor turned down nice and low. We're just easing along. this is the little landing area I was talking about, and as we go around the bend here, we should start to see you know, more river-like conditions with flowing water rather than this water that feels more like a standing lake. I hope we don't run out of water here. So far I think we've got enough. Now I'm gonna have to go around these trees because I got my rod sticking up behind me, so hopefully we've got enough room to go out and around here. Might have to pull the motor up at this point. So far so good. Oh yeah, we're definitely good. Alright, well we are definitely up into Gunpowder River. Actually having to turn the motor up a little bit just to combat the current. Now this is probably going to be the end of the line, right up around here. I know where we are. I know exactly where we are. On the foot trail, when you come down here, there's a ford where if you're on horseback, you can actually cross the river. But if you don't mind getting your feet wet, you can also walk across the water. But it's the old trail that comes down. And I was going to say there should be a little island that divides it, and that's the island right there. So up on this side, there's going to be a series of rapids and rocky falls that we're not going to be able to get over. And on this side it used to be narrower, but really there was a deep hole right back here. Okay, I can see the big rocks on the bottom, and we're definitely getting into some much more fast flowing water. So that was the way I was gonna plan on going, to see if I could get all the way through. But I don't think we'll be able to. It's just sort of around this island. So let's see if we can do it. I'm going to go ahead and pull my motor up out of the water completely. We'll see if we can't paddle our way around it. I pulled some nice smallmouth out of back here. Now, I gotta remember, I got my rods sticking up behind me too. That adds to the challenge. All right. Hang on everybody, we've come this far. We're portaging and we're going to put back in right up there. So give me a minute and we'll get back to it. Alright everybody, this is the side we did not come on. We came up here and then we went around this way. So we're just going to let that sit there for a moment. And you can see the water just gets nice and slow again. So once we get back in, we're going to go upstream. I'm going to stretch my legs here for a few minutes. That's why I'm standing here chatting. Once we go upstream, it's not going to be too much further, and there's going to be a little man-made dam, if you will. It's not going to be too much different than this, but that'll be the end of the line. We won't be able to go any further than that, because even if I got out there, we'd be into some really, really serious rushing water, because that is the mouth of Hemlock Gorge. Technically, when I come to Hemlock Gorge and walk down the trail, this right here is the trail, and it continues right there and goes back on up to Gunpowder Road. But I always come down here and walk up the river and go up right through the gorge itself. So we're going to get in the boat and go up that way. We won't get to see the gorge proper, but we will get to see the very bottom end of it. So give me a couple of minutes, get set back up, and then I'll see you heading on upriver. All right everybody, we're on our way. I decided to leave my motor up. We should have plenty of deeper water to the left here as we make our way up, but I never know, and I don't want to be in a situation where I suddenly have to grab my motor or worry about it. If everything's all clear on the way up, we can motor back down, but I don't know how close to shore I'm going to be able to go or anything else, so better safe than sorry. My regret is that this is sort of my backup paddle, not my main paddle for the kayak, so I wasn't really planning on doing anything like this today. I really wish I had brought my real paddle with me. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to come through this stretch by boat. I've walked countless times along the shoreline up there. I've fished through here more times than I could remember, and I've always wanted to be out here on a boat. All right, everybody. This is the bottom end of Hemlock Gorge. I wound up parking the kayak about a quarter mile down the river. Maybe not that far. Feels like it. But I could not go any further against the strong current with my little paddle that I brought with me. So I just pulled the kayak off to the side of the river and we walked on up here just because I was this close. I wanted to come up here and get a little bit of a look at it. The trail actually makes its way along the face of these rocks and goes on upriver and eventually makes its way on up to Gunpowder Road. So we're just going to turn around and walk on out of here, go back down to the kayak. And once I get in the kayak, we're going to start making our way back to the boat launch. It's late enough in the day now that I really don't have time to stop and fish or do anything else while we make our way out of here anyway. But as I said when we first got started on our way out here, that today was going to be as much of a sightseeing outing as it was going to be a fishing outing, if I even bothered to fish at all. So I'm going to keep on with it. Here's my little trail up and out. And we're just going to make our way back down to where I got the kayak parked on the bank. I just got to remember how far down I parked. Normally I can remember like which traffic pole I parked near. No, right there. This is do or die. Should I do it? Not really sure where I should even be entering in if I do. It looks like right through here is going to be my deepest area. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. It's that damn battery behind me. All I gotta do is get it off and I'm through. All right, that was exciting. We're not out of it yet. Still not out of it. All right. Still gotta watch where I'm going. That was definitely an adrenaline rush for me. I've never had this kayak on anything other than slightly breezy, choppy water. So for me, that was like shooting the rapids with zero experience. So that was fun. All right. Now let my hands stop shaking. I'll get the motor back in the water, and we're going to start making our way back to the boat launch. Alright everybody, we are officially downstream of Clipper Mill Bridge now. So I'm going to go ahead and call that the end of this video. I feel like I've already shot a lot of video today. All we're going to be doing is heading back to the boat launch from here. So make sure you're subscribed.